And the match is about to get underway there between Kilmarnock and Tromso this evening. That is the main thing. So time now to hand you to our match commentators there, Cammy Bell and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks again, Jonathan. Yes, welcome to Rugby Park as Kilmarnock look to make the most of their second chance in European competition against the Norwegians of Tromso in the Conference League third qualifying round. Far from disgraced in defeat by Cercle Bruges, but tonight should represent a genuine chance of progress for Derek McInnes' side. They haven't won a European tie since beating Glenavon in 2001, so a victory is overdue with a playoff tie against either Copenhagen or Banik Ostrava. The prize, that one is poised with Copenhagen having won the home leg last night 1-0 ahead of the return in the Czech Republic next week. So Kilmarnock and Tromso out on the field, and they've gone through the handshakes. Kelly in their blue and white stripes, white shorts, white socks, are away all the way to our right hand side, and Tromso, who will play all in black with a diagonal blue stripe on their tops, just getting the last drink of water before they take their place. The two captains in the middle of the park, Kyle Vassell of Kilmarnock and the 36-year-old Ruben Jensen of Tromso, with the Cypriot referee down there, who is Menelaos Antonio. The coin toss and so on has all been dealt with, so we're just about ready to go here. It's another pretty good turnout at Rugby Park from the home fans. Maybe it hasn't quite captured the imagination as much as the Cercle Bruges tie in the Europa League, but still a very good home attendance. Across to our left, O'Brien McLaughlin said there was meant to be 50 Tromso fans. I'm not sure there's even half of that, but they're across to the stand away to our left, and we'll try and make the best of their evening. But hopefully, from a Kilmarnock perspective, a Scottish football perspective, it's not the best of evenings for them, and Kilmarnock can take a victory across to the north of Norway next Thursday evening. It will be the visitors to get us underway here. They have got a couple of dangerous looking players, not least Lasse Nordas, who Derek McInnes referenced pre-match as well, who's got 10 goals for the season, including the winner in the away leg against Coops in the previous round of this competition. 1-0 they won both legs in the second round in the Conference League to take their place against Kilmarnock this evening, and it will indeed be Nordas who just rolls it to his captain and gets us underway as Tromso go from left to right as we look at it from the back of the old main stand here at Rugby Park. And quickly closing down there was Bruce Anderson, and I'm keen to see how he does, because I remember him speaking, Cammy, about being keen to play as part of a two at Livingston. He was more often than not the solitary striker. He's got Kyle Vassell there. That could be a real great foil for him.
Yeah, listen, Kyle Vassell's an absolute handful up there, and he's brilliant with his link-up play as well, so that should suit Bruce Anderson. I think Bruce will probably just play off him. It looks as if Kilmarnock have went with the back three and the two wing-backs in Armstrong and Kennedy. They'll want them to as far up the pitch as they can to get the ball in the box for Vassell and Anderson. But yeah, listen, it's an attacking side from Derek McInnes tonight, and I'm looking forward to the game.
It's Tromso trying to bring the ball out from the back, but Vassell has almost pinched it, and Bruce Anderson just tried to get it back into his path and couldn't quite find the correct weight on the pass, and the chance had gone. But Kyle Vassell already making a nuisance of himself as it's picked up on the right hand side by Paintsill, the wing back for Tromso. They play in a 3-5-2 themselves, so it's pretty much a match-up. As the left wing back now, Norheim, knocks it forward. He was at fault for the Rosenborg winner at the weekend, the young wing back, and he's been beaten there on the right hand side by Armstrong, but just couldn't keep a hold of the ball, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side. We're playing a minute and a half at Rugby Park as the home side home fans begin to make themselves heard, and it's Kilmarnock 0, Tromso 0.
Yeah, it's been a little bit frantic from the start, but that's where they want to. They want to get Danny Armstrong on the ball. They overran it, went out of play, but they want to get him one-on-one with the defender, running at the defender, pushing him back the pitch. It was a little sniff of a chance for Kyle Vassell, but Bruce Anderson just overplayed the ball. But a positive start all in all for Killie.
long from Robbie McCrory, who was beaten 4 times at Celtic Park, but actually turned in a very good performance. Here's Armstrong, right hand side, curls it in goal. Was just too much in the cross, and it's gone all the way behind for a goal kick. But Armstrong, even when he came on at Celtic Park, we knew he'd been carrying a bit of a knock and wasn't risked from the start, but he already, he couldn't create a goal, but he did make a difference when he came on.
Listen, he's lit up this place a number of times, and again, you just seen it, the long ball up to Kyle Vassell. He was very useful at Celtic Park, caused their defenders a number of issues on the day, but it's going to be really important that he links up with Armstrong on that left-hand side and gets him on the ball as much as possible.
The offside flag has gone up against the Norwegian striker Lasse Nordahl, 22-year-old, and he's a regular starter leading the line up alongside Jakob Romsas, the 20-year-old, in a dual strike force for Tromso as well. It's gone all the way back to Robbie McCrory, who I know you were impressed by a couple of the saves that he made at Celtic Park, Cammy.
Yeah, he's had a good start to his Killie career. Again, in the Cercle Bruges game, he had a number of saves. And it's always difficult. Robbie's not played a lot of football. He's a top talent. He's not played a lot of games for Rangers when he was there, but the games he did, it was huge exposure. He had that Old Firm game where he performed really well, so he'll be looking forward to this season.
Here's Armstrong, right hand side, midway inside the Tromso half, clips that into the box. Vassell tries to bring it under control, just knocked away from him though, and Joe Wright will gather and slide it forward. Vassell again trying to latch onto it, but he's well marshalled on that occasion by Tobias Goodall, the left centre back, and it's all the way through to Jakob Haugaard in goal. Experienced goalkeeper, was at Stoke for a while, Danish keeper, and he fires it out to this right hand side, but it's brought down by Anders Jensen, who's the one change from the side that were beaten by Rosenborg at the weekend. He comes in for Barry from that game, but it is, as I mentioned pre-match, the exact same starting 11 from the second leg against Coops. It's the 1-1-0. That ball forward from Haugaard's gone all the way through to McCrory, who bowls it out for Stuart Finlay. 4.5 minutes on the clock here, and it's 0-0. Remember, we've got St Mirren against Brann. The first half commentary is online, and the second half will follow this on the wireless or on your BBC Sounds app, wherever you like to get BBC Radio Scotland's sports sound output. As Polworth tries to thread one out to Kennedy, it's just cut out well though by Paintsill. Good challenge from Finlay, he slides it forward for Kennedy, attacking the goal line here. Kennedy left hand side, cuts it back behind everyone. Polworth will try and retrieve, just nudges it to Lyons. Lyons 30 yards from goal, central area, across to Mayo now just touches it back the way to Donnelly to his left, and once more it's Polworth out to Kennedy, about 20 yards from goal, looking to take on Paintsill. 2 players on him, back to Polworth it goes. He tries to curl it in, it's a glancing header, and that's off the post, and then it's right in the rebound. Kyle Vassell sliding in. What a start for Kilmarnock. 5.5 minutes played. It's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
Yeah, a brilliant passage of play from Killie. The first time they got their foot on the ball, and he gave out to Matty Kennedy here on the right. They doubled up him. He just laid it back to Polworth. A brilliant ball into the box. What a header from, I think it was Brad Lyons. Hits off the post, and there's Kyle Vassell just to knock into an empty net. Brilliant start for Killie.
Well, Vassell looked second favourite there, it has to be said, as the ball came back off the post. And he made the ball his own, just stuck out the leg and knocked it past Haugaard to give Kilmarnock the absolutely ideal start to this contest. A 1-goal advantage inside 6 minutes. The goal is, of course, being checked with VAR in play here, so the restart had just been delayed slightly, but didn't seem to be any problem with that at all. The header that came in, the keeper seemed to, I thought the keeper could have got it, but seemed to let it go onto the post, and it came back out to Vassell, who slid in to knock it past the keeper. The goal is given, and Kilmarnock have the advantage. Brilliant start, Cammy.
Yeah, fantastic start for Killie. Listen, I thought it was a brilliant header, and the goalie's went for it. He's made his dive, and as you say, Kyle Vassell probably is second best to get to that ball. You just see his hunger. He gets his foot in front of the defender and just swings it at goal, and it's a brilliant finish from him. But what a start for Killie.
Yeah, we're just looking at a replay there as the ball swung, and there might be a Kilmarnock player in an offside position, but it's not the player who gets his head to the ball, and then when it comes back in a rebound, Vassell just wanted it more than either of the Tromso defenders.
It's all about the quality of the ball in the box from Polworth. It's a brilliant ball into the box, and it allows the Killie player Lyons to just flick it on and guide it to goals, and that's what causes the problem. So brilliant and huge credit to Polworth.
Yeah, terrific ball in from the midfielder, and Kilmarnock have started this game really strongly. It's so important to get an early breakthrough, and that will really encourage the players and fans. The Tromso player down here, it was a meaty challenge made just down below us, and he's come off second best, so it might be a bit of treatment required just down on the touchline as the referee checks on the player.
Well, 7 minutes in, Alan, you know the Tromso defenders know they're in for a game against Vassell because he's just running at them. He's so strong up there, and I think they know it's going to be a tough night for them.
No, absolutely, that will be the case. But they looked rather statuesque when the ball came back off the post. Vassell, though, wasn't hanging around. He gets his first goal of the season to give his side the advantage. 11 he notched last season. Terrific performance it was from him as he led Kilmarnock back into Europe. As Polworth picks up just inside his own half, arrows one forward. He has got such a terrific range of passing, as he proved with the ball in for the goal. Here's Kennedy, left hand side up against Paintsill, feints one way then the other, sends it back post. Armstrong rises along with Norheim, neither of them can reach it, and it just curls all the way behind for a goal kick. But crucially, early doors here, 9 minutes in, Kilmarnock have the opening goal.
As you say, Al, just that range of passing from Polworth, brilliant from back to front. But what they do really well is Kennedy threatens in behind, the defender has to head it away, and Bruce Anderson just picks up a great position picking up that second ball, and I'm pretty sure that'll be a target for them.
Tromso trying to play out from the back here as Goodall and plays it out to Jensen. He's quickly closed down. The referee has an issue with something here. He's pointing towards the Tromso goal. It's to do with I think the towel of the goalkeeper. He wants it outside the net. Bit of a stickler for the rules there. Didn't seem to be making all that much impact on the game, but there you are, as Tromso come forward for the first time really and trying to get themselves back into the game. But it's good play by Stuart Finlay. He gets it forward to Matty Kennedy, who's fouled by Paintsill, and Tromso looked rattled by that really good early start that Kilmarnock have made.
Yeah, Stuart Finlay done really well there. It looked as if he was caught a little bit on his heels from the throw-in, and the Tromso winger was driving at him, but he used his pace, got his body back, and Matty Kennedy just drew the free kick,
which Robbie McCrory will take just outside of his penalty area. 10.5 on the clock here. Kilmarnock with a 1-goal advantage given to them by Kyle Vassell, their captain. That one's aimed at Vassell, but it's well won by Goodall. Knocked forward again by Kilmarnock, but out of play for a throw into Tromso midway inside their own half, right hand side, taken by Paintsill, and clipped forward by Geert Dahl. He's looking for the run of his fellow midfielder Antonsen, but McCrory comes out to the edge of his penalty area to grab it, and he immediately bowls it out to the left hand side to Finlay, back the way to Wright, who's playing as the central defender in that three, with Finlay the left footer on the left hand side, Mayo on the right. Anderson gets a head to that, looking for a foul there, but the referee not interested. Back it goes to Haugaard, already beaten in the Tromso goal. He plays it down the right hand side. Finlay should be in charge of that, just knocks it off Nordas and out for a throw in to Kelly, but 15 yards inside their own half on this left hand side. He just lets it go to Matty Kennedy, who's ordered a few yards back. Fourth official there just ushering them back even further. Kennedy looking for options here, left hand side. Almost 12 minutes on the clock. Kilmarnock leading by a goal to nil. Kennedy short of options, eventually goes back to Finlay. He's quickly closed down by Romsas, comes off Romsas and out for another throw in. This time Kennedy will leave to Finlay to take. Finlay 10 yards inside his own half. Down the left-hand side it goes, looking for Vassell. Won though by Todal, the midfielder. Vassell eventually gets onto it, nudges it back, but only to Nordas, who brings Romsas into play. He tries to find his strike partner again, but it's well cut out by Joe Wright, and Kyle Vassell could be in at the other end. Good covering though by Jensen. Had to make that challenge, otherwise Vassell was in for a second. But Tromso have it back over on the left-hand side. Scare there again for Tromso. Just a little bit of slackness from the straight ball forward from Joe Wright, and it was almost Kyle Vassell in once more.
It was almost just a clearance from Joe Wright, and it's just fell into Vassell's path, and he almost found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Here's Mayo into the feet of Vassell. Almost fell kindly there for Anderson. Cleared forward, but Joe Wright gets his head to it, and it's back into Tromso territory. They've returned it. It's a good leap there by Nordas, who's got the better of Wright. Nordas at the edge of the penalty, he turns one way then the other, lays it back into the path of Todal. It's a good stop from McCrory. He had to get down quickly to his right. It's a low drive from Todal, the young midfielder, and that was going to find the bottom corner, but for the quick reactions of McCrory, corner to Tromso, could have been worse.
Fantastic save from McCrory, right down in the corner, driven well into the corner as well, and that's what Nordas brings. He's a physical presence up front, managed to rumble his way about. The ball felt the midfielder, got off the strike, but brilliant save.
Yeah, really good stop from McCrory. He's got a corner though to deal with here. It just swung in near post. Kilmarnock have managed to get it out of the penalty area. Polworth helping it on, but returned by the captain Jensen, and it'll just be seen out of play by Mayo. A goal kick to Kilmarnock, 14 minutes played, and thanks to that Robbie McCrory save and the Kyle Vassell early strike, it's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
Hugely important save that for the time of the game as well. Kilmarnock have been giving the ball away, look a little bit frantic since they've scored that goal, so it was a big moment and a big save for Robbie, but as I said before, pre-match, he's a very good goalkeeper. He just needs to be able to prove he's still this season.
And he's got the ball at his feet and he arrows it out looking for Mayo, but it's intercepted over on that left-hand side by Antonsen. He's quickly closed down by Armstrong, who, along with Matty Kennedy, will have to do more defensive work than perhaps he would like to in that wing-back role. But I think, as we were talking about pre-match, Cammy, neither he nor Kennedy are, although they're both attacking tight players, they're not averse to working back for their side.
Oh, they're very disciplined when they play in this formation, when it is the five and they're the two wing backs. Listen, if you don't run about for a Derek McInnes team, then you won't play. So they get up and down really well. They're very disciplined, but we want to see them further up the pitch. That's where they can affect the game.
Tromso in possession through Jensen. Anders Jensen knocks it back to Goodall. Just outside his own penalty area. The goalkeeper's come well outside his box to give him an option. It goes back there from the captain, Ruben Jensen. A couple of Jensens in the side. His keeper is allowed to come a long way, and then he fires it long, and it's well watched by Finlay. Had to make that because Antonsen had gone in behind him. Donnelly then plays out to the left-hand side for Kennedy, who's stopped in his tracks by a decent challenge there by the rangy young midfielder, 18-year-old Todal, who came closest to an equaliser, but denied by a top save from McCrory early on.
You just need to be aware of that. Dal's running behind there. He ran from the midfield, and the pass over was a little bit of late shout from Polworth onto Finlay, so you just need to make sure that communication is correct and they get that right.
Mayo taking a chance there at the back against Nordas, and he quite fortunate to get away with that. Nordas won the ball, but it goes out of play for a throw in to Kilmarnock, who don't want to lose any of that early momentum that the goal has given them. 16 minutes in, it's a throw in to Kelly over on the far side, midway inside their own half. Mayo to take it down that right flank. It's over Vassell, over Armstrong as well, who still battle away for it, knocked forward by Tromso all the way through to McCrory, who picks it up and then bowls it out to Polworth, whose excellent delivery brought about, or certainly played its part in the opening goal. Donnelly to Kennedy, he was just too quick to the ball there, and it's going to be a talking to there for Jensen. I think that's his last warning. It's his first challenge certainly, but Kennedy was just too nippy for him there, Cammy.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not a yellow card. Donnelly just leaves Kennedy a little bit short, but he was on his toes. He managed to just nick it in front of the Tromso player, and he drew the foul, but I think he was a little bit late there, so I think he's very fortunate there's not a yellow shown.
Yeah, I agree. I think the referee showed some leniency. He was just fractionally late, but it was quite a crude challenge in the end, as Kennedy was just too sharp to the ball for him. Finlay plays it forward. That's going to break kindly for Bruce Anderson just outside the penalty. Lays it back to Donnelly. He's trying to find Kennedy, but he didn't see Paintsill, and it's straight to the wing back, who's gone past Donnelly and then plays it up front to Romsas. He's dispossessed by Polworth. Donnelly, just a slack pass there, and Kilmarnock were in a good position had he been able to find Kennedy. Here's Finlay just inside his own half, left hand side, tries to post it down that left flank, but it's gone straight out of play. They've played almost 18 minutes, and home fans pleased with the way their side have begun the game. They've got a goal, but there's already been signs from Tromso that they're not going to be rolled over here, and here they are coming forward down the left hand side. It's well watched by Mayo though, heads it away as far as Antonsen, left hand side. That's a lovely ball forward for Romsas, left hand side of the penalty area, tries to get it across goal. Joe Wright just kind of slides in and impedes the cross, and then it's come off the Tromso player Romsas once more, and it's gone behind for a goal kick, and Kilmarnock's 1-goal lead is intact 18.5 minutes in.
Yeah, it's been a good reaction from Tromso. They've got themselves back into the game. They're a completely different side from Cercle Bruges, as Derek McInnes reflected on his interview before the game. They very much want to play with the football. They're comfortable playing at the back, whereas Cercle were very direct and wanted to play in Killy's half. So yeah, they definitely look a threat.
McCrory's goal kick, 19 minutes in, 1-0 Kilmarnock lead. It's flicked on there by Lyons, and then nudged out of play by Anderson, who couldn't quite link with Armstrong crossing that right hand side. Throw in then to the Norwegians, just a couple of points above the bottom club in Norway, 13th in their 16-team league. They started the season very, very poorly, losing their first 5 games and 6 of their first 7 in the league, which started back in April, so they're well into it now, 18 games into it. In fact, they have recovered somewhat lately. The defeat at the weekend by Rosenborg was their first in 5 games, but nonetheless it's by no means gone the way they envisaged after finishing 3rd in the previous season. Here come Kilmarnock with a deep ball in there, but too deep and all the way out on this near side for a throw-in down near the corner flag for Tromso. Just a couple of yards away from the corner flag to be taken by Paintsill here. It's not a good clearance though by Jensen. It falls for Anderson, back to Polworth and back further to the halfway line to Finlay. Finlay plays it just inside to Wright, cross to the right hand side to Mayo. Kilmarnock have gone from possession just outside the Tromso penalty box all the way to Robbie McCrory. I know they were trying to switch the play and create the space, but they did go back an awful long way. Finlay back to Wright. Derek McInnes just out at the edge of his technical area, saying just stay calm, don't force it, you don't need to, with the 1-goal advantage. Donnelly out to this left hand side to Finlay. Finlay further forward for Kennedy. Kennedy looking for Anderson, gets it back to Kennedy, then slides it forward for the run of Lyons just outside the box. Good interception though made by Goodall, as Lyons threatened to get in behind there, but Goodall stretched out a long leg and made the interception, and it's a throw in now to Tromso. That was a good move from Killie.
Yeah, a good link-up play from Bruce Anderson there. Got a complete understanding with Matty Kennedy, and then the ball went forward to Lyons. He just couldn't get his body in front of the defender, but a nice passage of play. Killie have got good players. They can pass the ball, they can keep the ball for periods like they did before, so they'll be comfortable where they are at the moment.
Antonsen gets it out to Skiervik, left centre back. Goes back the way to his goalkeeper, who's midway inside his own half, Haugaard. Back to play the last couple of games, including the second leg against Coops, having been injured for a few. Plays it long forward, but Killie have dealt with that long ball, and Donnelly picks up and tries to drive Kilmarnock forward. Shows far too much of it to Ruben Jensen, and here come Tromso. Left hand side's played back to Jensen, and the interception made, fortunately for Donnelly, by Mayo, because Donnelly had been guilty of a really poor heavy touch. But Kilmarnock now coming forward through Lyons. Lyons out to the left hand side to Kennedy, about 30 yards from goal, up against Paintsill on the angle of the box. Beyond them goes Armstrong, who's come across to the left-hand side. Still it's Kennedy, though, coming into a central area. Plays it to Polworth over on the right-hand side, about 30 yards from goal. Dinks it in, it's not a bad ball, but out comes Howgard. Just too far away from Kennedy, who was closest to getting on the end of it. Howgard comes out, and almost a quarter point in the game. It's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
Just shows you how quickly Kilmarnock can get up the pitch there. A good interception from Mayo, and then they work the ball down the left-hand side with Armstrong, bring it inside. Matty Kennedy shapes up, and it was just a little bit overplayed into the box. That's a couple of times Donnelly's had either slack passes or a heavy touch, so he needs to find himself into this game.
Tromso have it at the back. It's here to Dahl. Scored the winner in the second leg against Coops, the 18-year-old, and here he is powering forward. Looks like a big athletic player. Forward they come on the left-hand side now. It's Norheim almost at the byline. He just plays it between the legs of Mayo, but runs through to Robbie McCrory, and he's able to gather. And Kilmarnock's 1-goal advantage is intact. But yeah, Donnelly, who probably last season had his most consistent and longest spell in a starting lineup for any club for a good number of years. But at the start of this game, he's just been a little bit off in his touch.
Yeah, it's one of them ones, Al, when you're playing in a game and the couple of first things go wrong for you. You've just got to find your feet, play a simple pass as the next one, build yourself into this game, because he is a good footballer. He's been really consistent, as you say, for Killie, so I'm pretty sure he'll react well to it. 31
appearances he made last season. Been injury plagued prior to that. Bruce Anderson flicks it on. Vassell was coming back from an offside position, but he didn't take it, and Anderson continued but couldn't then slip it through to a teammate, and Tromso pick up possession as Romzas plays it across to the left hand side. Should be kept in there by Norheim, another teenager in the Tromso lineup, a 19-year-old left wing back. And here is here Todal back to his goalkeeper, who seems to like coming out of the penalty area to pick up possession. Very comfortable with the ball at his feet. And he's played out to the right hand side for Jensen. Dummy there, it's a nice dummy by Paintsill, and it comes through for here Todal, right hand side, tries to pick out the cross. It's come off Finlay, who took a real sore one from about 5 yards away. Felt the full brunt of that whipped cross from here Todal. He's now hit the deck, and he'll possibly need a bit of treatment. He looks dazed. It might have come off the side of his head, and if so, not surprised he needs a bit of treatment here. So the Kilmarnock physio's on as 25 minutes have been played here. Cammy, Kilmarnock on the whole pretty pleased by the way things have gone so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got that early goal. I think Tromso have settled into the game since that goal. They look as if they're willing to play from the back, as you said there, Al, that the goalkeeper's very, very comfortable. It looks as if he's starting every attack. He can play the ball long as well. He's shown that he's got a threat, that he can play it directly over the top. For Nordas, he's a big physical presence, so Kilmarnock need to be aware of it. But listen, they'll be happy where they are. They've got their goal. They're finding their feet. I still feel as if both sides are threatening going forward, so I feel there could be more goals in the game.
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised. Both sides have had openings since that first goal went in, as the drop ball is given straight back to Robin McCrory, and Finlay's waved back onto the field of play, and he indicates doesn't want the ball just yet, thanks, or just knock this one long, thanks Robbie, because he has been taking quite a lot of short balls from the goalkeeper, but just trying to get his bearings again after that blow. So he does go long. Vassell can't make anything of it, and Paintsill fires it forward. Romzas tries to bring it down, but can't bring it under control, and Wright gets it to Finlay, who plays it back to McCrory. McCrory just inside his penalty area, takes a couple of touches and then fires it down the right hand side. Armstrong hasn't really been able to get into the game as yet, and Kilmarnock will want to change that, because he, as we've discussed already, can be so influential and so dangerous.
He's a big threat, and you're right, he's not got in the game at all. Most of the play's been down this left hand side with Matty Kennedy linking up with Bruce Anderson. I don't know if that's been a tactic from Derek McInnes, that he wants it to come down. He feels that they're weaker down this side, but yeah, it would be interesting to see Danny get one-on-one with that defender and run at him.
Tromso have it at the back. It's Goodall allowed to come forward, then he's closed down by Polworth, preferred in the midfield to David Watson. Loose ball there, breaks kindly for Jensen. Ruben Jensen slips it through. It's not a great pass from the captain, and it's knocked away by Kennedy. But Tromso certainly threatening. Derek McInnes said they're a better side than he thought perhaps they might be, I guess, given their league position, and they've proved that here. Although they've lost that poor early goal, they've responded pretty well, Cammy.
Yeah, they've been impressive since they've lost that goal. As I say, they found their feet a little bit in the game, 2 or 3 passes together, and they do look a threat. But again, you've got to give credit to Matty Kennedy. He's a forward-thinking player, but he's back there, tracking back, doing his defensive duties, winning the ball and clearing it.
Played forward by Goodall, comes off the head of Donnelly, but almost broke kindly for Nordas up there, but he couldn't make anything of it. It's back in the possession of Robbie McCrory. Played almost 28 minutes as Killie fans try to rouse their team again after such a brilliant start. Maybe just dropped off it slightly, but still with that 1-goal lead as Armstrong's beaten in the air, but then Donnelly steps in, good brave play, and plays it to Polworth. Now out to the left hand side again for Kennedy, up against Paintsill, one way then the other, onto the right foot. Paintsill gets a semi-block in, but it comes to Brad Lyon, just tried to poke it into the penalty area, knocked away by Goodall to the halfway line for Joe Wright. Now out to Mayo, right hand side, forward looking for Armstrong. It was a poor ball, and it's picked up by Norheim to start the latest Tromso attack. The ball was intended for Nordas, but falls kindly for Hjertodal, and now it's an opportunity inside the penalty area. Good work there by Nordas. Paintsill tries to tease it in, hits the head of Nordas as down goes Bruce Anderson, and the referee, not sure, did the ball come off the referee there, or?
Yeah, I think it did.
And I think it was last played by a Kilmarnock player, so they will get the drop ball, and a bit of respite there, because that again looked like it could have been dangerous for them.
Yeah, Nordas looks a real handful up front. He done very, very well. He was tightly marked by Finlay there, but managed to keep a hold of the ball and feed it to his teammate, and they just couldn't quite get the shot away. But as we spoke about before, they do look a threat.
Kilmarnock trying to be threatening themselves as Donnelly helps it on to Vassell, out to the right hand side for Armstrong, about 35 yards from goal, up against Norheim here. He's closed down by a second Tromso player, so he goes back the way to Mayo. Mayo again then slides it forward down the right channel for Donnelly, who's made the run, tracked by the captain Jensen. He was tripped there, and it's a free kick to Kilmarnock, about 5 yards short of the corner flag, almost right on the touchline on that right hand side. And this is a good position for Danny Armstrong to curl one in. He's very effective from set pieces, and this left-footed delivery, Matty Kennedy's going out there as well to offer the right-footed delivery, so either of them could put a dangerous ball into the box here as Kilmarnock look for a second as the half-hour mark ticks round. Plenty of bodies in blue and white inside that penalty area. The defenders up to lend their prowess in the air, as it is Kennedy who swings it slightly out the way, but it's won by Nordas. Out of the penalty area it comes, picked up by Polworth. Polworth thought about just swinging that straight back in, instead he goes to Mayo short, who plays it out to the left, to the right hand side to Armstrong. He slipped and Paintsill steps in, and I think he had a wee tug at him there, but the referee didn't notice, and Paintsill just knocks the ball out of play, and it'll be a throw into Kilmarnock. Disappointing set piece in the end. Yeah,
it wasn't a great ball into the box, kind of the first man, as you say. Nordas heads it clear, but again a good reaction there from Danny. He tried to get the ball 1v1 this defender on that right hand side, but slipped, but got straight back up on the feet and won the throw in.
Vassell did well initially there. He lost his marker, who was scared, right, but then he just took a poor touch and the ball just crept over the goal line, and it's going to be a Tromso goal kick. 31 minutes played at Rugby Park, and Kilmarnock with the early Kyle Vassell goal 6 minutes in when he scored on the rebound. And there's another poor bit of play, this time from Anders Jensen, who just took his eye off the ball and lets that drift out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Killie, who lead by a goal to nil against the Norwegian visitors. Polworth into the feet of Vassell, who gets turned and gets it back out to Polworth, left hand side, knocks it back now to Kennedy in line with the 18-yard box, plays it square, finds its way all the way through to Armstrong, takes a touch, clips it in, looking for Vassell. It's headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Killie keeping the pressure on, back out with Armstrong, right hand side onto the left foot, deep ball in. Paintsill meets it, clears it well. Finlay tries to keep the pressure on. Lyons can't get there though. Finlay this time goes back the way to his goalkeeper to ensure that there's no counter-attack possible. 32 played, Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
Yeah, another good spell for Killie. They're getting a couple of balls in the box, just wasn't the quality that they're looking for, but they're causing this defence problems.
Another nice bit of play in the midfield there with Geert O'Dal seemingly involved in all that is good about the play from Tromso in the middle of the park. 18-year-old.
He's a big physical presence as well. Looks a really good football player.
Tromso have it on the halfway line. Back the way to Jakob Haugaard, the 32-year-old goalkeeper, who, as I mentioned, missed 3 games, including the first leg against Coops, but he's recovered to return for the last couple, and here he is with the ball in his possession. Kilmarnock fans somewhat frustrated that he's not being closed down. He's almost at the centre circle.
He's like a centre half standing there playing with the ball.
You can understand Kilmarnock's reluctance to go and close him down, because that's what Tromso want, and then he'll just pick the pass, which is what he eventually did do, and now they're coming forward. So Kilmarnock fans just have to be a little bit patient and realising that's what's happening.
Yeah, they do, and they just need to understand that the goalkeeper looks very handy with his feet. He's played the ball out well every time he's had it, so he's got quality, so there's no point in going to him, as you say, Al. They'll just find that spare man and progress up the pitch.
Kyle Vassell just saying exactly that to his teammates. Just let him have it, let him have it. Yeah, Kilmarnock fans are giving Kilmarnock a hard time, but I mean, the players and the manager, you know, they know what they're doing. It's not the first time they've set up against a team like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, the players should know better. They don't listen to the crowd. They've got to understand what the managers set them up to do. So, and as I said before, the goalkeeper's got quality, so he can pick a pass out.
Tromso have it. They've got a fair bit of quality all through the team in terms of composure on the ball, and it's back with Haugaard again, who again brings it forward. This time he goes longer though, looking for Ruben Jensen. It breaks kindly for Norheim, but in sticks the foot of Lewis Mayo, and it's forward now with Vassell. He's tracked there by Goodall, and he's brought to the deck by Goodall, and he wins a free kick. He's taking it quickly back to Mayo, right hand side. And now it's Lyons. Lyons back to almost the edge of his own penalty area to Joe Wright, who's very deep, and out to the left hand side now to Finlay, who seems to have recovered from that blow he took to the head from the attempted cross earlier on by Geert O'Dal. Back with Joe Wright, 1-0 Kilmarnock, 10 minutes until the interval, as Lewis Mayo picks up right hand side. Short ball infield is to Polworth, who steps away from Nordas, then tries to play the 1-2. Vassell slides it through looking for Anderson, just too much in the pass from Polworth. He's saying to Bruce Anderson, you should have been on your toes there, but maybe the pass was just a little bit too strong. Either way, it's through with Jakob Haugaard, and it's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0. Brilliant play from Polworth. He just finds Vassell, and Vassell does fantastic, just flicks it round the corner, but Polworth continues his run and plays that first time pass, and for me it was a little bit heavy, but I understand what he's saying as Bruce Anderson maybe just anticipate that pass. Haugaard out to the left hand side for Skjervik. Back infield to Geert O'Dal, and back once more with the goalkeeper. That was a promising opening, as Haugaard almost presents that to Kyle Vassell, but got his angles spot on and finds Jensen instead. Vassell almost able to make the intervention. Here's Jensen once more at the back, plays it forward now to Romsas, out to the right hand side to Paintsill, up to the edge of the Kilmarnock penalty area, plays a short ball in. Antonsen couldn't collect it, but Ruben Jensen does in the edge of the box, and now it's Nordas trying to make something here for the left hand side on Norheim. Kilmarnock fans going a little bit impatient at the lack of possession they're having just at the moment, but it's tough against the opposition who are so comfortable on the ball. Yeah, they're really comfortable on the ball, and listen, they're quite happy to play through the thirds of the pitch and progress up that way. They won't just give the ball away. Kilmarnock just need a little bit more control in the game, and for me they've never really totally controlled this half for long spells. They do have the 1 goal advantage though, with about 8 minutes left in the first period. The ball's clipped into the area, one for Nordas to chase. It wasn't a great ball for him. He does manage to keep it in. Mayo's with him though, and manages to Hackett clear. Actually, it was Finlay who'd gone all the way across from left centre back to right centre back momentarily to dispossess the big striker, and he's done well, and he's won his side a throw in the end. Finlay over on the right hand side, which is taken by Mayo, back to Robbie McCrory. McCrory just puts the studs on it and then launches it down the right hand side, looking for Vassell, being grappled by Skjervik there. The referee says there's nothing wrong with it. Ball's played forward. Joe Wright gets his head to it. Anderson won't get that. Paintsell gets a second bite of the ball. Another poor touch from Donnelly. Killie fans beginning to just grow a bit restless about his performance thus far, as McCrory picks up another ball that goes all the way through the middle. He can't pick out a teammate though. Lewis Mayo gets it to Armstrong, who does well to keep it in. Armstrong down the right hand side. Vassell battling away to keep it in once more. Norheim in the challenge. Norheim's done well, the 19-year-old wing back, and now it's forward for Romsas, leading the next Tromso attack up towards the edge of the penalty area. Antonsen finds Nordash, just tries a little flick, doesn't come off. Norheim now on the edge of the box, dispossessed by Armstrong. Can Killie counter here? Armstrong tries to help it forward, looking for Anderson. Anderson's got onto the ball. Jensen hasn't dealt with that at all well. It's Anderson up towards the edge of the box, slips it to Polworth, left hand side. He digs out the cross where he was looking for Vassell, but it was well won by Skjervik there. Comes to Kennedy, left hand side, looking for options. One of them's Polworth, infield to Armstrong, who's over on the left hand side for the moment. Now it's back with Kennedy, midway inside the Tromso half. Looking for another opening here, Killie. It's Lyons about 30 yards from goal, trying to get turned. Just nudges it back the way again to Mayo, midway inside the Tromso half. Lyons picks up once more right hand side, just gives himself a yard, gets the cross in, away by Skjervik. Comes out to Mayo, just misjudges the bounce of the ball there, but he does get his head to it. Lyons helps it on. Anderson too for Vassell, he couldn't bring it under control. Might have been an opportunity there. Goodall steps in to rob him, and Tromso pick up possession once more. 6 minutes left in the half. Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0 as Tromso bring it forward now out of defence. Anders Jensen, who's looked a little bit uneasy at times in the game, but he's helping his side come forward here. Paintsell tries the ball through with the left foot from the right wing back position, can't find the accuracy on it. Robbie McCrory picks up possession. And just to let you know now that if you are looking to follow the first half action from Paisley for the St Mirren against Branbergen, you'll want to tune into our online coverage for that first period. You'll get the second half here on BBC Radio Scotland, but head to the BBC Sports Scotland website for first half coverage of St Mirren against Branbergen with Liam McLeod, Stephen Thompson and Stephen McGinn. But at Rugby Park we will continue on the radio for the moment with the rest of the first half here, with 5 minutes remaining between Kilmarnock and Tromso, with Kilmarnock leading by a goal to nil. And of course we'll bring you the entire second half here as well before crossing to Paisley, as Tromso look for an equaliser before half time. Anders Jensen coming forward from the back, and plenty of space out to the right hand side to Paintsell, almost at the goal line here. Plays it back in field for Hjertodal. Hjertodal just delayed, and it wasn't a good pass at all in the end, as Lyons goes forward and he's fouled, and he wins his side a good free kick to try and get them up the park a bit, because Tromso, having gone behind early in this game, have responded well but haven't been able to find a leveller. And it's Kilmarnock now on the right hand side with Kennedy, who's just swapped wings for the moment with Armstrong. It's away by Jensen. Out comes the goalkeeper Haugaard, clutches that one high in the air. And with 4 minutes left of the half, it's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
It's almost just that final bit of quality from both teams. Again, there's been a nearly few moments from Kilmarnock. The ball just didn't fall right for Vassell a few minutes ago, and then when Tromso go up the pitch, they're just picking the wrong pass, that final pass or shot, when they can get the shot away. But yeah, it's been, Tromso have really impressed me. They've grew into this game. They obviously started on the back foot, and I think that's why the Kilmarnock fans are a little bit frustrated that they've not built on that early goal. But listen, I think you've got to give Tromso a lot of credit for that as well.
Again, the Killie fans really frustrated that the goalkeeper's up at the halfway line. You can understand why they're wondering why he's been allowed to come quite so far without being challenged. But the fact of the matter is there's a yellow card there, I think, for Joe Wright for grappling, pulling his man back. As we've tried to illustrate, as soon as you go and rush and close down the goalkeeper, he's going to pick the pass, and all of a sudden they're further up the field with a man over.
And that's exactly what they want. They want Kilmarnock to go and press them because their movement, they want to play with the ball from the back. They're absolutely comfortable with that. So, listen, I think the Kilmarnock players are doing the right thing. Allow him to have the ball. It's not a threat if it's in front of you. But again, the frustration for me is that they scored so early, and the fans were probably expecting it to build on that. But as I said, fair play to Tromso. They have really grew into this game.
Yeah, and like Derek McInnes, I must admit they are better than I anticipated them being, given their league position and the start they made to that season. But they trail by a goal to nil, so that's the most important thing, that Kilmarnock do have that 1 goal advantage with just a couple of minutes left in this first period. It's forward for Antonsen down the left hand side, trying to get the better of Mayo, goes to the ground, but he was never keeping control of the ball, and it's just hacked away by Wright, out for a throw and over on the far side, more or less on the halfway line, the left hand side, as Tromso come forward, thrown back the way by Norheim to his goalkeeper, who's seen plenty of the ball, as we've been discussing. He's got it again just outside his penalty area this time, and as Vassell does go and try and close him down, he just plays the pass to Jensen. He's quickly closed down though by Anderson. I mean, you were talking about maybe Derek McInnes thinks the left hand side is the weak point. I think Jensen of the back three certainly looked vulnerable.
Yeah, he's been the one that they've been able to get at and get the ball off of. Again, Bruce Anderson's been successful on a number of times when he's pressed him, and he looks a little bit nervous out there.
Nordas now, left hand side for Tromso, just knocks it back to Hjertodal, left hand side, as Tromso come forward looking for Norheim, but it's headed away by Wright, out of play for a throw over on the far side. I think Derek McInnes will be quite content to get in at 1-0 and just you know, maybe tweak a couple of things, but just a reassuring word with his team. Be very pleased, obviously, at having the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kilmarnock have been good value for it. Just I would say probably looking at this game, as you said before, Al, I wasn't expecting this much from Tromso. They've really impressed me when they've been in possession. I think out of possession they can be get at. There's a number of areas down this left hand side. Jensen again is probably one you would identify. I'm pretty sure Derek McInnes will speak about him at half time. He'll play on him, and when he gets the ball, get at him and try and close him down, because he's gave it away a few times. But yeah, loads of positives from Kilmarnock in the first half. 30 seconds remaining. We'll have maybe a minute or so of added on time, you'd imagine. There's a couple of short stoppages as Joe Wright wins the aerial ball. It comes forward and it's knocked out of play for a Kilmarnock throw over on the far side, just inside their own half, taken by Mayo into Donnelly. Back with Mayo, left-footed ball forward. Anderson can't make anything of it as it bounces over his head. It'll just take a little while perhaps to adjust to the Killie way of playing alongside Kyle Vassell. 2 minutes to be added on, and we are into that right now as Goodall picks up at the back and plays it back to his goalkeeper outside his penalty area once more. Nice ball forward for Romsas. Romsas quickly closed down and he's lost it, and the keeper's out of his box. If Armstrong can lift his head, and he turns back the way and he can't get the shot off, he can't get the pass off, he eventually passes to the left hand side. The spectacular effort from halfway might have been on, and certainly you would have backed Danny Armstrong to execute it if he had been able to spot it. But I think you can see Derek McInnes point for that as well. He was waving on to him, look, the goalkeeper's out of his box, get the shot away, but he obviously didn't have his head up and didn't see how far away he was from his goal. Again,
that's, I mean, if that's not something they already know about, then surely at half time you say, well, listen, if we can pinch the ball at halfway point, then the keeper's likely to be out his box, just go for it.
That transition, as soon as you get the ball, as you say, Al, if you're in the right position and you know he's going to be high and play that high line, then get your shot away, and it'll just put doubt in the goalkeeper's mind as well. He maybe won't creep up as far.
Yeah, here's Mayo, right hand side, playing it forward. It's a rather aimless one from the Killie defender, and all the way through to Haugaard, who had to pick the ball out of his net inside 6 minutes from that Kyle Vassell goal. That's the only goal of the game thus far. There's Tromso just on the cusp of half-time, look for an equaliser. Robbie McCrory though out to the edge of his box to grab that, making sure he doesn't stray outside of it as he grabbed it. And again, he's looked very assured. There was a couple of moments against Cercle where we've discussed previously that he looked a little bit shaky under cross balls, but in terms of shot stopping, he's absolutely top class.
Yeah, he's been really good, and again, his positional play in this first half, he's been dealing with balls over the top, coming collecting them, and he just takes that pressure off the defence.
Nordas, not a bad ball into the edge of the penalty area, but back there went Matty Kennedy to knock it out of play, and that's the cue for the referee to blow the half-time whistle. A half that Kilmarnock started absolutely brilliantly, as Kyle Vassell had them in front inside 6 minutes on the rebound. Liam Poehler from the left-hand side curled a beautiful ball in. Looked like Brad Lyons, who glanced the ball goalwards. The keeper looked like he should have probably been able to get something on it, but the ball appeared to come back off the upright, and there was Kyle Vassell reacting first. He didn't look favourite to get there, but he slid in to knock it beyond the keeper and give Kilmarnock that 6-minute lead. Tromso did respond well, in fairness to them, the Norwegian side, and Herto Dahl pulled a really good save from Robbie McCrory about 8 minutes later. A low arrowed shot heading for the bottom corner, but down went McCrory to his right hand side to tip it behind for a corner. In truth, there haven't been too many other shots on target for either goalkeeper to deal with, but Tromso certainly looked threatening at times. Kilmarnock unable to really build on that promising opening, and so at half-time in the Conference League third qualifying round, first leg at Rugby Park, it's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
this is Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
What a goal!
Previously on Breaking the News.
Scotland's schools debating team have won the World Championships. Proof that as a debating tactic it is hard to beat. No, you didn't.
Scotland's topical panel show with Des Clark.
We're talking about the Olympics. Any Olympians specifically that have stood out for you this year?
Not really. What has stood out? It's the first thing on telly for a long time that Martin Compston hasn't been in.
Listen now on BBC Sounds. And join me, Des Clark, at the Edinburgh Festivals on the next episode of Breaking the News. Tomorrow from 1:30 on BBC Radio Scotland.
A wonderful start to our European coverage on Sports Sound here this evening. Kilmarnock 1-0 up against Tromso at half-time. Kyle Vassell with the goal. Now, Derek McInnes would wish he could take that scoreline into the second leg right now, I am sure. But we shall see what happens in the second half. More from Alistair Lamont and Cammy Bell very soon. If St Mirren versus Bran Bergen is more your thing, well, I can tell you that we are almost 4 minutes into that match and it is still 0-0. If you want live commentary of that match right now, well, you can find it online at the BBC Sport website. Liam McLeod, Stephen Thompson and Stephen McGinn describing the action. It has been a lively start so far. Bran Bergen with plenty of the ball. They look like they know what they're doing. Look like a side that have played plenty of games this season. Of course, the Norwegian League midway through. And yeah, they're keeping the ball most of the time against St Mirren at the moment. We'll keep you across any developments in that match, of course, but as I said, if you want live commentary of St Mirren versus Bran Bergen, it is available at the BBC Sport website. Oh, just a moment there, it looked like the ball might go through to the penalty spot area for Bran Bergen and they would have a chance, but St Mirren get it clear. Anyway, as we're talking about European coverage, we might as well also underline the fact that we have television coverage next week as well in terms of the Champions League qualifier, third qualifying round, second leg between Rangers and Dynamo Kiev. That's at Hampden Park on Tuesday night, of course, 7:45 kickoff. That will be live on BBC Scotland and the iPlayer. So that's you up to speed in terms of our European coverage at the moment. It's going well from a Kilmarnock point of view. Our chief sports writer Tom English is with me at the Smisa Stadium in Paisley. Smisa, in case you're wondering and you don't know, stands for St Mirren Independent Supporters Association. I'm not sure, Tom, if everybody in the entire world knew that, so I just wanted to clarify that.
on digital radio.
Online at BBC Sport Scotland.
Or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
What a goal! Well, we appear to have lost the signal momentarily from Paisley. Jonathan and the guys will hopefully be back with us soon so that I can finish my half-time apple. But well, let's have a chat then, Cammy, about that first half that we witnessed here. I mean, Kilmarnock, they couldn't have asked for a better start than the Kyle Vassell goal inside 6 minutes.
No, listen, Al, it was a brilliant start from Kilmarnock. They were on the front foot. They put Tromso back the pitch, and it came from Matty Kennedy, and they've probably done their work that they know they need to double up on him. They doubled up on him, and he just laid the ball back to Polworth, and it was a fantastic ball into the box. It was all about the ball, and then Brad Lyons flicks it on, hits the post, and as you said in commentary, Al, Vassell looks second best, but just his hunger, his desire, gets his foot on it and puts it in the back of net. And brilliant start for Killian, just what Derek McInnes would have been wanting.
Yeah, and I think we probably all felt at that time, having anticipated Kilmarnock having an easier game than the one against Cercle Bruges, that perhaps they would go on and add to that. But Tromso, almost immediately actually, we were talking about that effort they had in 14 minutes from McCrory making a really good save from Geert O'Dowd. They've showed that they are a good team.
Absolutely, and again, probably we didn't have enough time to see Tromso before Killie scored, so you were expecting the Kilmarnock to take the game by the neck and go on and try and score another goal, but Tromso had a really good reaction. They started showing the football that they can play. They're a completely different team from Cercle Bruges. Cercle Bruges were very direct, wanted to play in Killie's half, whereas Tromso love the ball. They want possession of the ball and they want to build it through the thirds of the pitch. And as you say, that shot in 14 minutes from Dahl, who has really impressed me, an 18-year-old kid, very physical size, but a really tidy footballer, and it drew out a brilliant save from Robbie McCrory down to his right-hand side. So important at that time of the game as well.
Obviously, we discussed pre-match the fact that Derek McInnes had changed the system. It is a formation we've seen Kilmarnock play under Derek McInnes many a time. Do you feel like it's worked well for them this evening?
Yeah, listen, I think the formation has been fine for Killie. I don't think it's hampered them at all. What I would say is Danny Armstrong hasn't got in the game at all, and I wouldn't say that's anything to reflect him. He's been hanging out, holding his width, which he always does, but the ball just hasn't been going down the right hand. He said towards the end of the the first half, sorry, he then came over to this left-hand side to try and get involved in the game. But that's probably one positive, that I wouldn't say Kilmarnock have been at their best, so there's more from them to come in the second half.
Yeah, well, I'm pleased to say that we're back in action at St Mirren. Jonathan and Co are back with us, so I will hand back to you, Joners.
Oh, thanks, Alistair. I didn't realise we dropped off.
We were rabbiting away here.
Quite
it was really good stuff, John.
That was great. You'll have to clip that up for the podcast, I think, Tom.
Tremendous.
But Cammy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. Cammy, obviously a fantastic start for Kilmarnock and Kyle Vassell this evening at Rugby Park. Tromso with a real foothold still in this match, clearly. All to play for at half-time, or what's your thoughts now you've had a few minutes to reflect?
Yeah, listen, I think Kilmarnock started obviously fantastically with that early goal from Vassell, and you almost think when you score after 6 minutes you're going to really go on and probably score another couple, and I think that's probably the frustration from the Killie fans here. But all credit to Tromso. I probably didn't think they were going to be as good as they are. They're very comfortable in possession. As I said, the goalkeeper is coming up really high, wants to play out from the back, and they've got some really tidy players. The boy Dahl in midfield is playing number 6. He's a physical presence. He's only 18-year-old, very tidy on the ball. So they've got some real assets in their team, and they're going to be a threat in the second half, Jonathan.
What do you think Derek McInnes' message to his players will be at half-time? On the face of it, Cammy, 1-0 on a home leg for Kilmarnock at this stage in European football. That's a good result, isn't it?
Yeah, no, listen, there'll be loads of positives in there at half-time and loads of aspects that he'll want to improve on as well. I don't think they've controlled the game enough. I think it's bounced from team to team. Both teams going forward look a threat. I wouldn't say defensively Tromso are that strong. As I said, touched on before, Danny Armstrong's not really got into the game yet. He's tried to switch wing with Matty Kennedy towards the end of that first half, but that's probably a positive for me that Danny's not in the game yet. If they can get him in the game, that's a game changer for Killie. We know how good a player he is, we know how big a threat he is, so they'll try and get Danny on the ball a little bit more in the second half, I would expect.
Well, it seems like Jonathan has either nodded off or...
I think he's enjoying the pies over at Paisley, I think.
Must be. I've still not finished my apple. Anyway. St Mirren still goalless against Branbergen. If we judge the fact that Tromso are 13th in that league, Gammy, and are a pretty decent side, you'd expect that's going to be pretty tough for St Mirren against the second place side in the Norwegian League, Branbergen.
Absolutely, and again, they've really taken me by surprise, Tromso. We heard from the CEO before the game that it was a transitional period during the summer, so it's maybe just took them a little bit of time to find their feet. They brought in a few additions into their squad later on, so it's probably been a transitional period for them, but I've been really, really impressed the way they play their football. As I say, very comfortable on the ball against a really good Kilmarnock side here at Rugby Park. Rugby Park's been a fortress for them for so long, and again, they've not had it all their way. So yeah, I think if you're going by positions in the league, the Norwegian league, then Brann will be a real test for St Mirren.
Yeah, well, there is live commentary going on online of that. Hopefully that is not being affected by the technical difficulties that Jonathan's experiencing, but I couldn't say one way or the other for sure. But certainly there'll be second half commentary of St Mirren against Branbergen live on BBC Radio Scotland on Sports Sound across 810 medium wave and our digital platforms. In terms of this game that we're watching, Cammy, changes that Derek McInnes might think of. I mean, he tends to wait to around about an hour, doesn't he? Who would you like to see come on? Who do you think could impact the game positively?
I think he'll be fairly happy where he is at the moment. David Watson might enter the game to bring some energy and a bit of quality in that midfield. Again, Donnelly's had a few slack touches and passes, but he's still a good player, so it'll be interesting to see how he starts the second half. And again, I've been impressed with Fraser Murray. The game here against Cercle Bruges, for me, the last 10 minutes, he was really a really good impact player coming on off the bench. Looks hungry. He started the game against Celtic at Celtic Park, so he's another handy player that they've got on the bench.
He should be hungry, shouldn't he? Because he's not made the kind of impact that he would have hoped to since he's moved from Hibernian. But we've seen Derek McInnes play. I'm thinking of likes of Danny Armstrong and Liam Polworth. Neither of those players, when Derek McInnes initially came in the Championship, got much of a look at. In fact, Polworth was shipped out on loan to Dunfermline, I think it was. And then it wasn't until they came up to the Premiership that both those players became like real first-team regulars. So there is still an opportunity for people like Fraser Murray to go and, make a real impact on a Derek McInnes side.
Absolutely. From the outside in, you probably thought Polworth was going to leave the club at one point because he wasn't getting the game. He had that loan spell, but again, he's obviously just developed into a Derek McInnes player in the way he must listen well, train well, works hard. As we know, you need to work hard to be a Derek McInnes player in his team. So no, I think there is a place in this squad and team for Fraser Murray. What he's found himself up against is two incredible wingers in Armstrong and Kennedy. They've had fantastic seasons last year, so it's always difficult to break into a team when you've got guys in front of you who are at the top of their game.
What about Bruce Anderson making his first start for Kilmarnock tonight after a couple of sub-appearances in the previous round in Europe? I mean, he hasn't had really any goal-scoring opportunities. What have you made of his display so far?
He's done well. He's fitted into the system pretty seamlessly. I think you can see he's worked with the players. His link-up play with Vassell and Kennedy down this left-hand side's been good. There's a real understanding of the job he's been asked to do by Derek McInnes. So I've been impressed with him. I like him as a player. I think he's a really handy player to have in your team. He works ever so hard. And for me, he's a goal scorer as well. He has a goal. We've seen it when he was at Livingston. Scored a lot of important goals for them over the years. So I think he's a really good addition to this Killie squad.
Tromso just appearing back out of the Kelly tunnel here. I'll keep an eye out for, in fact I think they have made a change already, as let me just double check the team sheet. It looks like Leo Cornic is going to come on, the number 2. He's a right wing back, so I wonder if Paintsill is going to... No, Paintsill's out there, so just keep an eye out exactly as to what that change is going to be. But Cammy, in terms of what we've seen from them, you wouldn't rule out them getting back into this game, getting on the score sheet.
No, absolutely not. They're a real threat going forward. As I said, they've grew into this game, so Kilmarnock need to do something in this second half to stem the flow a little bit, because it was coming towards a Kilmarnock goal. They're growing in confidence, and they'll know they would love to take a draw back over to Norway for next week's tie. That would be a really positive result for them, but I still feel this is in the balance. Kilmarnock could go and get another goal and make this a really good victory to take over to Norway, but it can flip the other way, and Norway can get the Norwegian side can get back in this.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a change for either side, and it is one of the men we've been speaking about at half-time who's going to come on for Killie. It's Fraser Murray. First of all, though, the Tromso change is being given, and it's Norheim who's a left wing back. But so what's happened is that Paintsill, who is left-footed but has been playing right wing back, has come across to the left, and Cornic has gone across to the far side, and Bruce Anderson is the player who has made way for Fraser Murray. So that's an interesting one as to how he fits into the Killie lineup. Killie about to get us back underway. Thanks very much for your input there at half time, incidentally, Jonathan Sutherland and Tom English. Cammy and I were looking for a wee rest there. We haven't got it. Anyway, I know there'll be a lot of sympathy out there for us as the second half gets back underway. Kilmarnock leading by a 1-0, and Armstrong picking up immediately and plays it into Murray, who played it on for Vassell, and it was a good intention, and Vassell maybe just slightly on his heels, not anticipating it. But how do you think that will affect the way that Kilmarnock are going to line up, Cammy?
Yeah, I think there was a good opportunity there. Vassell was probably just caught a little bit on his heels. It looks like Fraser Murray will play naturally a little bit on the left and off of Vassell. But what he does bring, he brings a real spark of energy to this team. And as I say, I think he's had a positive start to this season when he's had the opportunity. The Cercle Bruges game, he was really influential when he came on. So if he can bring any sort of performance like that to this second half, I think it'll be positive for Killie.
That roar from the Kilmarnock fans was because Haugaard, the goalkeeper, was being closed down. Here's Vassell trying to get turned. He tumbles to the ground and looks at the referee, but the referee turns away from him and says there's nothing wrong with that. Derek McInnes was asking the question as well of the fourth official.
He's wanting a penalty. You could see a straight arm on his shoulder. It's just whether there is enough contact to make Vassell go over. Of course, listen, any striker feels a bit of contact, he's going to fall to the ground and ask the question.
It is just a throw in to Kilmarnock. I think they've kind of tweaked the shape a little bit here, with Brad Lyons looking like he's kind of almost tucking in on the right hand side. We'll just try and keep an eye on Derek McInnes. He spoke about the kind of fluidity that he likes to have between a 3 and a 4 in his formation. So it's nothing altogether new, but he does like to just mix things up to try and just get a little advantage over his opponents, as Paintsill is penalised for a handball there and then clatters into Lewis Mayo. A couple of minutes into the second period then, and it's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0, as Kilmarnock have the free kick, which the referee I think wants taken again.
I think what you mentioned there, Al, is it's really handy when you can change formation within the game and the team you've got on the pitch. It allows the change of shape, allows a different style for Killie to play, but also makes the opposition think of where the players are moving to. So I think it's really versatile. As you say, the guys have got on the pitch at the moment, they can drop into that 3 or that 4, and hopefully that can make this Tromso team think a little bit.
Mayo back to right, and he's going to go square to Finlay, midway inside his own half. Stuart Finlay just rolls it back to Robbie McCrory. Not the best kick out. Polworth should have just brought that under control. He flicks it on instead, rather dangerously, and then a couple of Kilmarnock players leaving it to each other, and that could have been problematic there, but they have won it back. over on the left-hand side, and it's Kennedy trying to get away from his man. He's got away from a couple, in fact. Plays it into Fraser Murray. He's dispossessed, though, in the middle of the park, and Tromso have it back on their right-hand side. Forward it goes to Nordas. He tries a little flick as well, and it doesn't come off either. I think sometimes the players will be better off just keeping it simple. Here's Kilmarnock doing just that as Lyons gets it to Armstrong, right-hand side, up against Paintsill now. Tries to take him on the outside. Paintsill does well initially and sees it out for a goal kick. Danny Armstrong saying it came off Paintsill last. The assistant doesn't agree. Behind for a goal kick. 49 on the clock. Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 0.
Good defending there from Paintsill. I think he shows Danny Armstrong the line where he wants him to go, but also manages to get his body across so he can't get the ball into the box. So really good defending.
Goal kick taken short. Back to Howgard it goes. And launches it down the left-hand side. Brad Lyons just keeping an eye on that. Lets it come to Mayo. Mayo thumps it forward again. Underneath it is the Tromso captain, Ruben Larsson, headed to the left-hand side by Nordas for Paintsill. Feeds it forward there for Romsas to chase, but Finlay's there ahead of him. Gets it back to his goalkeeper. A big scoop up in the air there from McCrory. Brave header from right, but it's not dealt with. Here's Romsas. Romsas scores! Equaliser for Tromso. Kilmarnock, not for the first time in Europe, guilty of giving up cheap possession, causing their own problems, and it was fed forward to Romsas, who tucked it out beyond McCrory. And just as Kilmarnock did in the first half, Tromso struck early in the second. It's Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 1.
A really disappointing from Kilmarnock's point of view, that goal. It was a brilliant finish from the Norwegian team there, but again it was slack from Robbie McCrory. I felt as if he could have took a touch. He's played the ball out, it's went high into the sky, and then Fraser Murray tries to get his body in front to nick it, and the ball goes through, but it was a fantastic, neat, tidy finish.
Yeah, Romsas with the equalising goal in 50 minutes. But really, Kilmarnock, who gave away a cheap winner out in Bruges and gave away a cheap couple of goals at Celtic Park as well, trying to play out from the back, and they were guilty of giving away possession, a really dangerous area there just now. And Romsas made them pay with his 5th goal of the season. And just as they'd made the perfect start to the first period, they made a really bad start to this second half and find themselves level.
Yeah, there was a number of times they could have cleared the ball there and got it away from their goal. As I say, it kind of started off with Robbie not clearing it properly. It went high in the sky and allowed Tromso to pick up the ball, and you've got to give credit to him as well. It's a really neat and tidy finish past the goalkeeper.
Kilmarnock trying to make amends at the other end. They've conceded a free kick. Just seen a rerun of the goal. Yeah, McCrory's big scoop up in the air, as I mentioned, and then ball's played back the way into the danger area, and Romsas is just tucking it away with the left foot. Yeah, Fraser Murray trying to bring it under control and couldn't do so, and the ball breaks kindly for Romsas, who puts it beyond McCrory for the equaliser, and that has just subdued things at Rugby Park. And whatever Derek McInnes has said at half-time, it will be somewhat out the window after that equaliser. Kilmarnock have almost won it back in a good area, but Power couldn't keep a hold of it. And now it's Tromso on the counter. Paintsill won't quite reach that though from Nordas. And Kilmarnock just have to settle themselves back down again, Cammy.
Yeah, just take a breath and take a period of time on the ball. Hopefully their experienced players will want to do that. Again, it's overplaying it at the back.
Yeah, Nordas winning it back, and fortunately Kilmarnock are able to get it clear.
Very frantic at the moment. They just need to put their foot on the ball, as I say, get their experienced players on it, because they're good enough footballers as well. They can move it side to side just to play themselves back into this game.
Finlay on the left-hand side, just outside his penalty area. Plays it forward, looking for Vassell. He can't flick it on. Comes in the middle of the park though to Polworth, out to the left-hand side for Kennedy. Kennedy has to try and check back, and he's lost possession, and the Kilmarnock fans howl their disappointment as Nordas plays the 1-2 with the goal scorer Romsas. Nordas just managing to keep it in, gets into the 6-yard box, knocked away by Joe Wright. Throw into Tromso, whose little band of supporters behind that goal, oh, they're suddenly enjoying their experience all the more.
They're delighted with what they've seen, the reaction in this second half, the way they've started. Kilmarnock just look a little bit leggy, a little bit shell-shocked. I'm watching Donnelly and Polworth run back there. It's almost as if they look tired when they're moving back towards their own goal. They need a little bit more energy, so wouldn't be surprised if David Watson enters the pitch at some point.
Yeah, so you've got Armstrong still playing wide right, Vassell through the middle, Murray is wide left, then kind of almost still playing wing backs. You've got Murray, you've got Kennedy, and Lyons is an opportunity. Murray's taken out of play there now, surely that looked like it could have been a penalty. The referee just moves away, not interested. It looked to me as though Murray was completely wiped out by one of the Tromso defenders, and well, the referee not interested. There is, as I mentioned already, VAR in action here, and it'll be interesting to see if there's any sort of delay the next time the ball goes out. I don't think the ball has gone out since that happened.
It was just a direct ball up the pitch. I think the defender misjudges the bounce, and Murray then manages to get a foot flick over his head, and it does look like there's contact. Looks like he means it as well, but again, whether the ball's too far away from Murray to go and get on the end of it, that's maybe where the referee's not seen it as a penalty.
Well, the ball is out of play, so let's just see if there's any sort of delay. The referee isn't making the signal, certainly. Pretty sure he's just waving.
Yeah, I think he's dismissed it.
Well, that looked worth a shout at first glance, at least away to our right, but at least it's a sign of positivity for Kilmarnock. They're able to get into that Tromso penalty area and cause problems. We're just getting another look here at the incident. Our pitch side reporter Brian McLaughlin's got the monitor in front of him. Maybe see if Brian can get a good look at it, get another replay here. Well, Murray just nudges it beyond the defender. What did you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think there's a fair play for a penalty there. Certainly Skarvik comes in and catches Murray after the ball's away from him, but the Tromso player was certainly not in control, or anywhere near in control of the ball, and he certainly collided with the Kilmarnock player. I think the Scottish referee gives that as a penalty on a Saturday.
Yep, every chance. Anyway, it's definitely worth a claim, but not given. So it remains Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 1. 55, almost 56 minutes played here at Rugby Park. Tromso have started the better side in the second half, and have got the equaliser thanks to Jakob Romsas, their 20-year-old striker, tucking it past Robin McCrory. And Kilmarnock looked to try and regain the advantage. Lyons looked like he was fouled there late by Nordas, but the play's allowed to continue as Lyons gets out to the left-hand side to Kennedy. Kennedy cutting in off the left-hand side, trying to get away from the substitute Cornick. Then it's curled in by Armstrong. It's a good header clear there. Donnelly picks up, trying to burrow his way into the penalty area. It was a good clearing header initially by Goodall, and then it's stumped out of play, and it'll be a Kilmarnock throw in, but a good couple of minutes from Kelly.
Better from Armstrong as well. He just gets the cross in early doors. It was a decent cross, but they found all the Kilmarnock players at the back post rather than the front post, so yeah, but a positive bit of play from Danny.
Armstrong then with the long throw in from the right hand side. The referee though wants it taken again. He wasn't happy with something that was going on, so he just will allow Kilmarnock to retake this throw in. Danny Armstrong about 15 yards or so. Not the referee's seen someone else that he doesn't like. Stuart Finlay he's talking to in the 6-yard box. Finlay taking up that near post area to try and get the flick on at that area from the throw in here from Armstrong. Eventually he's happy, so Armstrong will fling it into the area. It's a low trajectory. Finlay does get the flick, but it's headed out on the second ball by Herto Dahl. Still goalless at St Mirren, between St Mirren and Brian Bergen. Remember, that one's online commentary for the first half, and you'll get the second half following this, the conclusion of this game, which stands at 1 each after 58 minutes at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 1. Dave McInnes just going back into his technical area. He's prowling around, always looks agitated in his technical area, but back out with the arms folded now as his side play it from central to right for Mayo, and it's Lyons just trying to lift it forward. Paintsill cuts it out, fires it up to the goal scorer Romsas for Paintsill once more, coming forward, but he's dispossessed. Polworth plays it back the way to Mayo. Donnelly's just stepped back into the defensive line for the moment, plays it to Polworth, neat turn from him, forward for Vassell into the Tromso half and out to the left hand side for Murray up against Skjervik there, then he teases it into the area, clearing header from Goodall. Wasn't a bad ball in from Murray at all. Here's Kennedy now taking up the mantle, left hand side, finds Polworth, just wouldn't break as he tried to get the ball in. It's Armstrong right hand side now, Paintsill close to him, Armstrong dinks it back, it's a good ball, Vassell can't get there, good clearing header, picked up though on the edge of the box. Kennedy goes for goal, well saved by Haugaard, straight at the keeper in fairness from Kennedy, but a good take nonetheless. It does remain after 59 minutes, Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 1.
Good passage of play from Kilmarnock there, a couple of balls into the box, the ball falls to Matty Kennedy once it's cleared, he takes a decent touch out his foot, gets a shot away with the left, but as you say, straight at the goalkeeper. But that all started from a passage of play from Polworth, who opened his body up, wanted to play forward, played into Kyle Vassell, who wanted to then go forward again. I've noticed a little bit of negativity where Killier want to go back far too much. They're much better when they want to play forward on the front foot.
Here's Lyons, who's kind of playing right of a midfield four now. It's pretty much a 3-4-3 that they're playing in this second period, with Lyons, Donnelly, Polworth and Kennedy across that middle area. Here's Lyons on the right hand side, out to Armstrong ahead of him, up against Paintsill, tries to get it onto the right foot, but he's charged down and knocked out of play. I think we're going to get the first Kilmarnock change of the evening, Brian.
It's going to be the second Kilmarnock change, obviously, because Fraser Murray came on at half time. Yeah, David Watson is coming on. Yeah, we're still waiting to see who's coming off, but yeah, Watson coming on, I'm sure that'll bring a smile to the Kelly fans this evening.
Thanks, Brian. Vassell there on the turn, firing a ball not too far over the crossbar. Actually, it's a really good effort from Vassell, and had the Kelly fans on their feet momentarily, but over the crossbar, and it remains one each.
Again, positive though, because the ball comes into Vassell, he's got his back to goal and he just wants to take a touch out to the side and get his shot away, wanting to play forward, wanting Kilmarnock to drive Kilmarnock forward. But as I said before, there was signs of a little bit of negativity, wanting to play back the pitch too often.
That does go back to Joe Wright at the edge of his penalty area, out to the left hand side to Finlay. A misunderstanding there between him and Kennedy, and the possession is given away, but fortunately for him, Brad Lyons was back there to cut out the cross. Picked up by Jensen in the middle of the park though, the Tromso captain, plays it forward, a little ball round the corner there from Hjerto Dahl. Now it's Antonsson picking up. He is in the middle of the park, midway inside Kilmarnock territory. Kelly in the back foot again just at the moment as the ball's played round them, and it's the goal scorer Romsas out to the right hand side for Cornish into the box. Nordas is blocked away by Joe Wright, comes still in the penalty area, and it's curled goalwards. Robbie McCrory dives to his right and clutches that inside his 6-yard box to deny Romsas a second goal of the evening, and so it remains Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 1.
Really good block from Joe Wright there. Nordas does really well, gets his shot away, he's heading on target, but Joe Wright gets a leg out, and then the second shot's gathered by Robbie McCrory. But yeah, I feel as if Kilmarnock just need a little bit more energy in the middle of the pitch. They're lacking really a bit of quality and a bit of, as I say, they need to take control of this game a little bit more. It's fluctuating from side to side far too much.
Here's Kennedy, left hand side, angle of the box, trying to take on Cornish. Cornish prevents the cross coming in, but at the expense of a corner. David Watson waiting to come on. Not sure he'll come on till after the corner. No, Derek McKinnon says we'll hold on until after this is unravelled. But it does have a couple of final words for the young midfielder who got the opening goal, or the equalising goal, against Cercle Bruges here in the first leg in the previous round of the Europa League. Corner kick's taken short, curled near post, a lot of bodies going for that, and it's headed away by Tromso defender, and they're going to break up field here. Nordas trying to get up to help Romsas. Romsas holding it up, and it's actually Ruben Jensen who then gets it on to Nordas. Nordas to the edge of the box. Nordas with a shooting opportunity. Scored! What a counter-attack from Tromso. Devastating stuff. And it's their top scorer, Lasse Nordas, who has turned this game around. From a Kilmarnock corner, Tromso took it upfield, and somehow they managed to get from one end to the other, and Nordas has played it past Robbie McCrory. It is Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 2.
Yeah, an absolute sucker punch, as you say, Al. Kilmarnock have the corner, they clear it with a head, and there's a little bit of hesitancy from Polworth there. He doesn't go and make the challenge, allows the Tromso player to run at him, and they break up the pitch so fast. But listen, what a finish from Nordas. He does really, really well. Jensen does well to find him first and foremost, takes a touch, and it's a really good finish across Robbie McCrory. I just feel as if Polworth needed to make the decision, maybe take one for the team, take the player out and take the sting off the attack, and yeah, it's been costly for them.
It certainly has, Brian. There's going to be a rethink here from Derek McInnes in terms of the substitution, or is it going to be an additional one at least?
Yeah, I think it is an additional one. They're just making sure they're doing the goal check also before they make any substitutions. The goal has been confirmed, but yeah, Liam Polworth is coming off, and it will be number 7 Rory McKenzie coming on, and also coming off Liam Donnelly with the aforementioned David Watson coming on. So yeah, 2 changes made by Kelly as they try to get back into this game.
Yeah, so disappointing for Kilmarnock. We did say at half time though, Cammy, that Tromso were definitely going to be a threat, and so they approved in the opening 20 minutes of this second period.
Yeah, listen, they were a threat in that first half, and as we spoke about, they were growing into this game and probably believing they could take something really positive back to Norway for next week. I think that substitution there was needed. Donnelly and Polworth haven't started the second half very well. They look leggy, as I said before, when they were trying to get back the pitch. For me, Polworth should have made the decision to take one for a team and take the player out when the counter-attack was starting for that goal. But yeah, Kilmarnock need to dig deep and need to find something quickly.
I know that Derek McInnes obviously made the change to his formation at half time with positive things in mind, but I mean, did he need to, and has it worked? I think the obvious answer is no.
No, I wouldn't say the formations really played a huge part in why they've conceded 2 goals. I think you look at the first goal was a number of times they could have cleared the ball. I think that second goal was a decision from Polworth that he could have potentially have taken one for the team and slowed the game up. Yeah, I don't want to point the finger at Derek McInnes for changing the formation, because obviously he believed there was a reasoning for it, and there's still a period in this game to play.
Here's Lyons, right hand side, McKenzie still goalless in Paisley. McKenzie teases it, header comes in. It's a good header, but it's straight at the keeper again. As Fraser Murray, I wouldn't say he's renowned for his heading ability, but that was a good, powerful header. But unfortunately for him, it was pretty much straight at the keeper. He just had to lift the arms aloft and hold on to that one, and it remains 2-1 Tromso. But here come Kelly again as Armstrong picks up, cuts in on the left foot. Can he get the shot away? Instead he tries the pass to Murray. Murray at the edge of the box, picks up at the second time of asking, dinks it in towards the back post, picked up by Mayo, who knocks it back to Lyons. Lyons infield to McKenzie, midway inside at Tromso territory. They're going to make a substitution of their own just shortly. Brian will bring us news of that once the ball goes out of play, as Kennedy picks up left hand side, turns one way then the other, room to cross, deep one all the way through to Armstrong. Brilliant first touch, lays it back for Lyons, gets a shot away but it's blocked at the edge of the 6-yard box. It's Kilmarnock doing the attacking just at the moment, as Mayo plays it back out to Armstrong, right hand side, comes infield, dinks it in but can't get the elevation he needs, comes back out to Mayo, and it's Armstrong once more, back onto the left foot, plays it square for McKenzie. McKenzie in the middle of the park, swivels and then plays it to the left to Finlay. Finlay backed away to Joe Wright just inside his own half. Mayo once more right hand side, as Tromso plan one change and probably a second's been given a shout, as Lyons is dragged to the floor there by Paintsell. That's a pretty obvious yellow card there for the wing back as Killie get a free kick in a good position. Danny Armstrong eyeing this one up right hand side, about 35 yards from the goal line, but it's a good position for Armstrong.
Yeah, really good position. It's all about the quality that he can produce, or Matty Kennedy that's coming over as well. But Kilmarnock, they look much better. Rory McKenzie taking the ball, taking responsibility in the middle of the pitch to start attacks and sustain pressure on the Tromso goal. So a really good start from Rory since he's came on as sub.
Well, the referee just ushering the Kilmarnock players back a yard or two on this right hand side. Kennedy and Armstrong. Kennedy's previous effort wasn't a great one, but he's going to try again. Headed away as far as Murray. That's a terrible volley, so high over that goal of Jakob Haugaard that it's barely worth mentioning. Brian, a couple of changes for Tromso.
Yeah, a couple of changes being made. Number 14, Mamadou Barry, who played in the weekend defeat against Rosenborg, is coming on, as is number 7, Felix Winter. The players coming off, we're just waiting on the UEFA official to put the board up. There'll be number 8 who'll be first off. That's Kent Arne Antonsen. So he's already just making his way towards the sideline. And the second substitution coming off will be number 5, Anders Jensen. So it looks like Barry will replace Jensen at the back for Tromso.
Yep, exactly that. Right centre back, so it's like for like, and the midfield as well. Felix Winter coming on for Antonsen as Tromso just freshen things up for the final 20 minutes or thereabouts, but they've completely turned this game on its head in the first period. And Derek McInnes did say prior to the game that if they didn't win this one, they wouldn't feel that they were out of the tie, but having led, he'll be deeply frustrated at the fact that they now trail after these 2 second half goals from Tromso, from their attackers. Romsas, first of all, the 20-year-old, and then his 22-year-old strike partner. His 11th goal of the season, Lasse Nordas, have Tromso in charge here as Winter immediately gets on the ball and starts running at the Kilmarnock back line, but in steps his fellow sub David Watson to win it back for Killie. Finlay in 2 minds there, and then moves away from Romsas, plays it square. That's good play from Finlay. Now it's Lyons crossing the halfway line. Mayo continues it forward down that right hand side. Now it's Armstrong, tries to play in. Mayo once more, looking to get to the goal line. Good covering there by Skjervik, I think it was, who knocked it out of play, and it will be a Kilmarnock throw to be taken by Danny Armstrong, about 10 yards or thereabouts from the corner flag on the right hand side. He does have this long throw of his. 19 minutes to go. Kilmarnock looking to get back on level terms. Here comes Armstrong. Again, it's a flat delivery. Finlay manages to get it back to Armstrong, who wraps the right boot around it. It's a good ball. Joe Wright with a downward header. He can't hit the target though, and Kyle Vassell just couldn't latch onto it either. But Joe Wright should have really been testing the goalkeeper from a terrific cross from Danny Armstrong.
Just need to guide it on target. That's all you do. Danny Armstrong does brilliant, because Finlay plays an overhit pass and he just manages to dig out with that right foot, whips it in, and it's right on Joe Wright's head, and just asking him for it to hit the target. Ask questions of the goalkeeper, but it goes wide.
Yeah, no questions asked of Haugaard on that occasion. Joe Wright will feel he should have been able to hit the target from that position, just a few yards out, as Armstrong managed to dig the cross out. Here's Kennedy going back towards his own goal, plays it to McCrory. 18 minutes to play. Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 2, as Watson gets his attempted pass all wrong, but Vassell will go and try and gather, and he's shoved to the ground, and a free kick goes Kilmarnock's way, about 15 yards inside the Tromso half. 2-1 they trail.
There was a wee opportunity there when the ball came to Watson, just for him to flick it on to send Fraser Murray on his bike, but he got it all wrong, scooped up in the air. They've won the free kick, but I'd probably say since they've scored, this is the most positive I've seen from Kilmarnock in the second half, which is disappointing, because you're asking them to score first to then get yourself back in the game.
There's Kennedy into the area. Armstrong, in fact, as it comes to Murray back to McKenzie, goes for goal. That's well blocked by the Tromso defenders. Skjervik, I think, was the one who got his head to in the centre there, because McKenzie's shot was travelling, looked like it might well have been on target, but the Tromso defence standing firm, as out comes the goalkeeper. He's taken his penalty. It was Mayo who was challenging the keeper. The keeper came right to the edge of his box, took Mayo out, didn't get enough on the ball, and the referee has pointed to the spot, and Kilmarnock come away back into the contest.
Yeah, it's just a straight ball in the box from the halfway line. The goalkeeper comes a long way, almost 17 yards, right in the edge of his box to punch the ball. I don't think he needs to get himself involved, but he does, and I think he's came over the top of Mayo and took him out, so the referee pointed to the spot straight away.
Well, it will be checked by the Cypriot VAR, Dimitris Solomao, but Danny Armstrong, it would appear, will have the opportunity here to draw Kilmarnock level, unless the video assistant referee sees that differently from his Cypriot counterpart. But looked like a very clumsy challenge. Haugaard just too keen to come out of his area.
As I said, Al, I don't think he needs to come all that way. There's enough defenders to defend that ball in the box that Kilmarnock aren't going to affect his goal from there. He comes flying out. Again, he's on the stretch, and it looked like he did catch Mayo from here, but obviously VAR will check it and we'll soon find out.
Danny Armstrong waiting patiently as Haugaard tries to put him off. Brian, you've had another look.
Yeah, there is undoubtedly the goalkeeper makes contact with the player, but I think he actually gets the ball as well, so that's why I think they've taken their time over this, the Cypriot officials. But we just had another look just now. Yeah, undoubtedly the goalkeeper gets the ball. He's came right through the man as well. For me, that's a difficult one to call.
We've seen them ones being given recently, though, Brian. I think the more if there's a lot of contact on the player, then goalkeepers are
he's going to come across to the monitor. Derry McInnes immediately doesn't look greatly pleased about that, but he's been advised that he might want to change the decision here, as Brian was alluding to. Maybe he has got enough contact on the ball. It's half time in Paisley. It's 0-0 in that one. You'll hear full second half commentary at the conclusion of this one, as the referee has had a quick look. He makes the monitor sign. Now he's lifted the hand. I have no idea what that means. I suspect it means it's no penalty, but the hand signal wasn't remotely clear. And he's taking the ball off Danny Armstrong. Yeah, well, it's clearly, as you can hear in the background, it's not a penalty, and he's going to just give the drop ball to Haugaard.
It looks that way, Al. I think Kilmarnock will be not happy about the decision, but the ball actually fell back to Kilmarnock when the goalkeeper punched it, so they should be in possession of the ball.
Yeah, well, the referee hasn't covered himself in glory there, awarding the penalty and then being advised to change his mind by the VAR, and he's agreed with that, and it's no penalty, and it remains Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 2 with 14 minutes to play. Haugaard back in possession of the ball. He's got away with one there because he definitely caught Lewis Mayo, but the referee and the video assistant have obviously deemed that there was sufficient ball taken in the challenge, and no penalty is the ultimate decision, as Kilmarnock get a goal kick.
I think it's a dangerous one in this day and age. I've seen them being given nowadays when the goalkeeper comes out and takes the player out, but I agree with Brian when he said it, that the goalkeeper gets enough on the ball, but there's huge contact with me as well, so he's running the risk of giving away a penalty. Very lucky boy.
Yeah, and was it a clear and obvious error?
Okay, and that's the thing we debate all the time, Al, isn't it? Is that a clear and obvious error? I wouldn't say so, but it all depends on what the referee's telling the VAR official, what he's seen.
Yeah. Tromso changed there, Brian. Did you get a note of that?
I did, yeah. Jo Paintsil has come off. Number 25, Lars Nielsen, who I think he's a striker, Al, is he?
No, I think he's a wing back, which would make sense, I guess, coming on for Paintsil, but we shall see where he plays. He has gone into that kind of left wing back role for the moment, as Tromso have possession in the centre circle. It's Jensen, their skipper, getting it back in a tight area, and he's been crowded out actually. Watson emerges with possession, but the ball breaks kindly in the end for Geert O'Dal, who's able to bring Tromso forward. And good challenge on the edge of the box by Wright on Nordas, who's gone down, holding his shin. Kilmarnock emerged with possession. 2-1 they trail. To say 0-0 in Paisley. We'll get second half commentary from there straight after this one. Nordas has gone down again after that challenge by Joe Wright. It will be a Kilmarnock free kick, but Nordas might need a bit of treatment here as we go into the last 12 minutes plus stoppage time. Kilmarnock, you'd have to say you really need them to get an equaliser. You don't want to be going across to Norway with a deficit to make up.
No, it's going to be difficult going all the way over there, and this side are a very good side as well. They've looked very handy and they've grew into this game, so we'd imagine they'll be very confident at home. The boy up front, Nordas, we just spoke about, I've been impressed with him. Dahl in midfield, very good footballer, so they've got some real threats here, so Kelly will be desperate to try and get that equaliser.
Yeah, they will. I mean, I was guilty of this pre-match, saying that this was a step down.
Yep.
That this wouldn't be as good a team as Cercle Bruges. If they're not far off it.
No, a different style of play, and I think the way their style of play is playing football, and they're very good at it. They're confident at it. Whereas Cercle Bruges had guys up the top of the pitch that could hurt you, and they were very direct. So yeah, two different styles. But listen, I've been really impressed with this side. I think they put a good showing on tonight. They look really assured when they're on the ball, and defensively as well they've almost grown into the game, because at the start of the first half I was a little bit unsure, looked a little bit nervy, but yeah, they're a good side.
Throwing Kelly with just over 10 minutes to play over on the far side, more or less 10 yards or so perhaps inside Tromso territory, maybe a bit more once Matty Kennedy's stolen a few yards. Here he is picking up, getting the ball back. Has to go back the way though to Finlay, and now it's Wright just outside the centre circle. Plays it to his right to Mayo, who thought he'd won a penalty only to have it taken from him. Forward it goes from Lyons to Murray. Murray, good control, right hand side of the box, and just nudge it back to Armstrong. Armstrong back onto the right foot, stands up to the back post. It's over Vassell, but it will go all the way through to Kennedy. Kennedy left hand side of the penalty area, up against Cornish now, back to McKenzie. McKenzie on the angle, stands it up, but it's headed away only as far as Mayo, who gets it back out to Armstrong, curls it in, takes a deflection. Vassell down, it's going to come there for Lyons. Oh, it's deflected away and blocked. I thought Lyons was going to get the shot on target there, but there was a defender in the way, and another chance goes a begging for Kilmarnock. They want it back though as Wright gets it to Mayo, and you can hear the fans around Rugby Park trying to get back behind their team as they need every little ounce of support and energy for these closing 10 minutes to try and find an equaliser to take across to Norway. That's a wayward ball though from Wright, hacked out of play though by Nielsen, the substitute Lasse Nielsen.
Better from Kilmarnock there though, sustained pressure on the goal of Tromso. They were in good positions to pick up the second ball when it was coming outside the box, and as you say, I think Lyons it was that got the shot away, but good defending from Tromso. They had enough bodies back to defend that, but more of that's needed in this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they just got bodies in the way, didn't they? As here's McCrory firing it forward. It's not a great clearance, and it's lobbed over McCrory. It's not going to go in the goal, but even if it did, it was going to be offside against Romsas, who got the equaliser. But as the ball was nodded down to him by his captain Jensen, he was well offside. Hence there was no real urgency in my voice here, as even I knew he was well off. But Robbie McCrory, a couple of times his distributions let him down a little bit. As Mayo pumps it forward, it's Barry getting his head to it, not once but twice, but it comes to Murray. Murray's taken out of play on the edge of the box, and that will be a free kick about 22 yards from goal, just right of centre. And this is an opportunity for Kelly. There'll be a few candidates. Kennedy has grabbed the ball. Armstrong will also be interested. Kennedy's couple of free kicks that he's taken from wider areas haven't been his best so far. I wonder if Armstrong will get this one. This is definitely worth an effort at a goal though.
I've sat in the seat and watched Danny Armstrong put the ball in the top corner from here. I'm hoping he does it again, but yeah, it was just a straight ball up. Barry from Tromso got his all kind of mixed up. It went over his head, and Fraser Murray does really well to pick up that second ball again and buy the free kick. But I'm just hoping I'm going to sit here and celebrate Danny Armstrong sticking this in the top corner. Yeah, or any other Kilmarnock player for that matter. We don't really care who, as long as it does nestle in the back of the net. But there's 7 to play here. I think
Kilmarnock players have just brought this back slightly, which might well benefit them. It's either Armstrong or Kennedy, right foot or left foot, as the pair of them stand over the free kick. Looks like Kennedy. Kennedy does hit it. It's deflected wide off the wall. Corner only, and no celebrations yet, Cammy.
No, it's a big wall to get up and over, but again, disappointing free kick. Another set piece opportunity for Killie, and I'm surprised Danny didn't step up to that, because as I've said, I've seen him do it before. I've seen Matty do it, but he's had a number of opportunities of set pieces today that hasn't went for him.
Corner then on the right hand side to be taken by Armstrong. Left footer, curled back post. It's a Tromso head that gets to it. Comes to Kennedy at the edge of the box, just tries to help it back in, but it's going to be thumped clear there by Skjervik. All the way over the halfway line. McCrory comes out his box, and we'll just return this back towards the Tromso penalty area. It's right challenging, beaten by Winter. Kennedy's Murray's done well. He's done actually quite well since he's come on. He has looked lively. He's caused problems as the throw-in was quickly taken, but the referee is going to bring it back because Tromso were waiting to take the throw-in. And Derek McInnes isn't happy, and in fact they're not even ready to make the substitution, so Armstrong will be allowed to take the throw in again into the chest of Watson. It goes now back with Armstrong to curl it in. Comes off the head of the striker Nordas there, the man who's put Tromso in front in this tie. Back out to the right hand side to Armstrong it comes. Another ball teased in, but it's not a great one. Nordas again who gets his head to it. Watson tries to help it back to Armstrong. He just slides in there on Nielsen, and the free kick is given for that. Nielsen making the most of that challenge, and it will be a free kick to Tromso. 5 minutes remaining here as they're about to make a change. Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, it looks like number 19, Heine Larsson, will be the final change made by the Tromso coach Garda Holm, but yeah, I think they're still deciding exactly who's going up, because the board hasn't gone up. Here it is, comes now then. It looks like, yeah, Lasse Nordas, who's been excellent this evening for Tromso. He's coming off with Larsson coming on. 85 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, that's Heine Larsson, who comes on for just his 5th appearance. He was only signed last month from Egersund, a second division outfit. He goes up front in place of the man whose goal has Tromso leading this first leg, Lasse Nordas, and he does look like a decent player, the striker. Kilmarnock have been penalised for a challenge there in the middle of the park on Ruben Jensen, the Tromso skipper, and it's more defending for Killie to do rather than attacking, which is what they want to be doing at this stage of the game, trailing by 2-1. Kyle Vassell.
This just suits Tromso, doesn't it? Just taking the pace out of the game and allows them possession in Kilmarnock's half where they want it.
Free kick is knocked back the way and then out to the left hand side for Nielsen. Nielsen into Winter, and now it's the captain Ruben Larsson back out to Nielsen, left hand side into the penalty for Winter. Winter back there for the big number 6 who's challenged by Wright, who looked like he might have had a hand in there, but came off his chest in the end to thwart Hjerto Dahl as he tried to make inroads into that penalty area. No way through either for Jensen, but it's Tromso still in possession. Over on the far side it's Romsas going back the way, harried by McKenzie and Murray. Plays it to Barry. Barry goes all the way back to his goalkeeper Jakob Haugaard, right at the edge of his penalty area. He launches it long up towards the edge of the penalty area. Again, Mayo and McCrory not communicating. Comes to Nielsen. Nielsen into the box. Wright makes the challenge, and it comes back off Nielsen for a goal kick. But again, as we saw in the second leg in Bruges, that lack of communication in there. McCrory and Mayo just not talking to each other.
Frantic again, just a little bit of composure. Kilmarnock need. I know they need to score a goal to try and take over, but they can't concede again because it would be criminal for them to do that. But they just need a bit more composure in their defending, and when they've got the ball as well, it's just been far too frantic.
Couple of changes there for Killie, Brian.
Yeah, Matty Kennedy and Danny Armstrong have been replaced with just 2.5 minutes left. Gary Mackay-Stephen and young Bobby Wales, who I believe very highly thought of here at Rugby Park, was on loan at Alaba last season.
Yeah, he was banged in a few goals for them as well, 12 in League One. But it's a big ask to come on in the last couple of minutes here and make any great impact. I suppose just fresh legs for the final few minutes. Kilmarnock trailing by 2-1. They led at half-time by a goal to nil, but it's been turned around in the second half. And Tromso look like they're going to take an advantage back to the north of Norway. As Scottish clubs up against the Norwegians this evening. It's 0-0 at half-time, and Paisley will bring you second half commentary of that very, very soon, straight after the conclusion of this one. As St Mirren tries to get the better of Brann, but Kilmarnock also trying to at least get an equaliser here to at least go to Norway level pegging. But we're into more or less the final minute of the 90 here, plus whatever stoppage time is added on at the end. Here's Lyons, back to Mayo. Mayo on the halfway line, clips it forward. Barry hasn't got there, but it does go all the way through to Howgard as Wales tried to make a nuisance of himself.
Derek McInnes will be disappointed again. I've seen Kilmarnock play a lot better on this. I don't think, listen, he'll know he's not out of the tie. They've got a little bit of big ass going over to Norway, but I think what they've seen tonight is they don't need to go over there and fear them. They need to be aware of all their threats. They need to play a lot better than they have tonight. But he'll be disappointed with the goals that he's lost.
Again, as Tromso clear the lines. Picked up again by the impressive Hierto Dahl, but Kilmarnock have won it back. Here's Murray cutting in from the left-hand side, just taken out of play there by Cornish. And referee gives Kilmarnock the free kick. Just the final few seconds of the 90 as the fourth official prepares to display the boards. At 6 minutes that flashed up there, I think.
It's a good position to get the ball in the box again, but it's all about the quality they can put in the box here.
6 minutes, which has given a bit of encouragement to the home crowd. It's a good ball in, slid goalwards, and Stuart Finlay has just somehow not been able to turn that in. It was a terrific ball in. The offside flag is up, which will spare some of Stuart Finlay's blushes. He missed a big chance in the second leg out in Bruges, and he missed a big one. They didn't get the connection he was looking for as he slid in, but the offside flag has gone up in any event, and it remains Kilmarnock 1, Tromso 2.
The offside flag's up, but he needs to put that in the back of the net, whether it's offside or not. He gets it caught underneath his foot. It's a brilliant ball into the box. Really good area that he's put in, taking all the Tromso defenders out, and he side foots it with his right foot, which is his weaker foot. He just gets it caught under his feet, and it allows the goalkeeper to make a save, but offside.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. That's a kind of chance that needs to end up in the back of the net, and then if it's chopped off or offside, well, so be it. But
it'll be interesting to see what Derek McInnes says after the game, because he looks a frustrated figure at the side. Certainly in this second half, for long periods, he's looked very frustrated with his Kilmarnock side.
Yeah, well, they've surrendered a 1-goal advantage, and he has bemoaned some cheap goals that have been conceded already, but it's a ball into the box, and it's come off Nielsen. It's a corner kick. Again, it was Murray making the running down that left-hand side. He has been positive since coming on. It's a corner kick on the right-hand side to be taken by Mackay-Steven.
Brilliant ball in the game from Fraser Murray, really positive.
Mackay-Steven then, left-footed, sends it into the penalty area, swept towards goal. Not once, but twice. It's in! There is the equaliser! 2-2. Well, it's all square at Rugby Park. The initial effort was knocked away, but I think it's Bobby Wales who got on the end of it, the young substitute, to sweep it in at the second attempt. And Kilmarnock do have the leveller. It's Kilmarnock 2, Tromso 2.
We've been waiting for quality to come in the box, and it's Mackay-Steven who delivers it. It's kind of swept in, the first shot's blocked, and I think it's Bobby Wales that's there to put away the second one, and what a moment for the young lad.
Yeah, great stuff for a young substitute, 19 years old. And it's his first Kilmarnock goal. Such a wonderful moment for Bobby Wales. and it could be a real lifeline. It could be so huge in terms of the tie as a whole. There's a player down here, just getting another look at the goal. The initial effort's blocked, and he just taps it in at the back post, nonchalantly as you like.
Instinctive from a striker's point of view. The ball just falls at his feet and he just gets his foot round it, puts it in the back of the net as if he's done it for years. A brilliant moment for the youngster.
What a way to score your first Kilmarnock goal. A leveller in injury time in Europe. Doesn't get much better than that.
The winner does.
Well, there's time yet. 6 minutes were added on as McCrory fires it forward. We've got about 3 minutes to play. Nielsen hits his head to the ball, knocks it out of play on this near side. Kilmarnock now with their tails up. Can they find a winner? David Watson is going to take over long throw duties from Danny Armstrong, who's left the field. Right hand side, about 20 yards from the corner flag, and it comes from young Watson towards that near post. Finlay does get a flick on, but it's straight into the arms of Haugaard before any other Kilmarnock player can pounce. And deep into stoppage time, it's Kilmarnock 2, Tromso 2.
Yeah, great reaction from Kill. They've kept going right to the end, all credit to them. And we expect that from a Derek McInnes side. They keep going right to the end. They know how important that equaliser's going to be.
Yeah, and it gives them fresh belief to take to Norway in a week's time. And as good as Tromso have been, they're certainly not unbeatable, Carly.
No, absolutely not. I think they're a very good side, but listen, I think Kilmarnock can play a lot better than this. They have what they have tonight as well. So there's loads of positives from Derek to take into the tie that's got to be away in Norway.
Fire forward onto the chest of Vassell, then Watson out to the right hand side for Lyons. Lyons back to Mayo on the halfway line, steps away from his man and then just plays it up towards the edge of the penalty. They headed away by Goodall, returned by McKenzie. Down goes Vassell, Barry's with him as well, and it's a handball given against Kyle Vassell, much to the frustration of Derek McInnes and all in blue and white around Rugby Park.
Again, what I would say is give Derek credit, because it was Gary Mackay-Stevens' ball into the box, a late substitution, and then it's Bobby Wales that sticks it in the back of net, so he needs to take great credit from making them brave substitutions late on in the game.
Kilmarnock fans, an applause there as they've turned out in big numbers, and they're watching their side, by the looks of it, head to Norway all square for the second leg, but they want more as Robin McCrory picks up and rolls it out overarm to Lyons. Lyons right hand side looking for Vassell. Vassell challenges Goodall, it breaks the way of Skjervik at the back, and up to the halfway line it goes. Joe Wright helps it forward. McKenzie looking to just get away there from Hjertodal. He's got the better of him, out to the left hand side to the impressive Murray. Murray up against Cornish there on the Kilmarnock left, tries to get away from him, it comes off Cornish. It will be another corner. This might well be the last opportunity for a winner, as Kilmarnock sends Wright and Mayo and Finlay up once more, trying to get on the end of this late corner from the left hand side to be taken by Fraser Murray, right footed, and it comes from Murray. Up goes Finlay, can't quite get on the end of it, it's not entirely clear, it's out of the penalty area now, but picked up by Watson, helps it back in, away by Jensen. Well, there's the full-time whistle at Rugby Park to bring an end to a really captivating game, which ebbed one way and then the other. Kilmarnock going ahead inside 6 minutes as Kyle Vassell slid in on the rebound to put his side in front, and there were good value for that, but Tromso came back strongly at the start of the second period as Romsas got the leveller, slipping it past Robbie McCrory after 50 minutes, and then on 64 a lightning counter-attack, Romsas for Jensen onto Nordas, and there was Lasse Nordas to knock it past McCrory to make it 2-1, and it looked like it was heading that way towards full time, albeit Kilmarnock thought they had a penalty. The referee pointed to the spot for a foul by Haugaard on Mayo, only for VAR to suggest it was to be overturned, and the referee ultimately agreeing. But into injury time we went, And the corner came in from Gary Mackay-Steven. The initial effort was blocked, but there was young Bobby Wales deep into stoppage time to sweep in his first ever Kilmarnock goal and give his side a leveller and give them a real opportunity, Cammy Bell, going into that second leg next week.
Yeah, listen, that goal's massive for Killie, and it gives him confidence as well. I think when you're trailing going abroad in European football, it's always difficult to claw back. Not impossible, but always difficult. So they'll be delighted coming off that pitch that they've got that goal. And I'm absolutely delighted for young Bobby Wales. He's a brilliant prospect for the future, and he'll be absolutely buzzing tonight.
Yeah, a great evening for him, getting his first Kilmarnock goal in stoppage time to level things up. It finishes at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 2, Tromso 2. Now let's cross to Paisley, and St Mirren against Brann in the company of Stephen Thompson.